And there we go, NOMADX family, everyone out there, Facebook fam, we are here back on track. And today it is a very special day, as always, because we're here with Dave. And Dave is not just a simple guest. He is someone, we just spoke about how much he inspired me, and he really inspired me. And as you guys know, it takes a lot to inspire me, but he's like the genius when it comes to work-life balance. So and he has like Go Beyond, which is an awesome company, guys, awesome company. And in this case, Dave, welcome to the show. It's awesome to have you.
Hey, Oli. Thank you for having me. It's great. And as you said, we had a chance to chat a little bit last week and just now. And thank you for those words. It means a lot. So yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
It means a lot to me. I want to be very honest. I want to be very straightforward. As I'm always, that's kind of like how I work. The first time we met, I was like, really, another guy who teaches the principles about life, and it's like I was like, I don't know. But then I watched your website, and I watched you, and I followed you, and then we spoke in person, and I was just like super overwhelmed by what you're doing and your mission and your vision. So Dave, can you give us a little bit of overview about who you are and what you do?
Sure. So, well, thank you, and hello to everybody tuning in right now. My name is David Gamboa. I'm Colombian, and I'm in London right now. And I founded a company called LiveBeyond after 10 plus years in the corporate world, engineering, finances. And as I was talking to Oli the other day, I had a tough period in my time a few years ago, as we most do. And that really changed my life in a few different ways. And LiveBeyond was born in 2018 with the sole mission of helping people maximize their life experience. And I think remote work is the tool to do it. And I can explain a little bit more, because I think if we spend more time of our lives working, and I do believe that remote work is the tool to have fair, meaningful, effective work again, we can bring back meanings to our life and maximize the life experience. So that's our mission, and that's what we do at LiveBeyond.
I love it, man. It's like I said before. It's like there are so many of you guys out there, but I feel like you are really making a difference. This is one of the main reasons why we're here today, because we get a lot of these requests, but I think like you are really making a difference. So tell us a little bit more about LiveBeyond. Why and what do you want to achieve with it?
Sure. So the sole mission, as I mentioned, is to maximize people's life experience, and it was born because the workplace model, as all of us know here in this audience, is not necessary to think and to explain more. The 9 to 5 is bullshit. It doesn't work. It really undermines our lives, undermines our potential. After working for 10 years in the corporate world, I really saw the trend of location flexible, independent work. And I am fascinated by travel. I had the chance to travel, and I thought, why not use this tool of flexible work to allow people to remote work includes, and it's must have self-management and discipline, as we know, and focus in order to be productive. So that means time management, which is not the goal, but it will be better. That means you can actually spend more time in your well-being, maximizing your potential as a human. What we all are about, performing better, doing better things in our lives, in our work, everything. So if you maximize your life through habits, routines that maximize your mind, your body, your nutrition, your recovery, your work, you'll have an effective, more healthy and meaningful life. And those are the 3 pillars of LiveBeyond. And that's what we are helping to teach our people through experience. Because as you know, there's a lot of podcasts. Let's face it, there's a lot of books. There's a lot of people talking about having a meaningful life. And I think that's good, right? That's good because that's the way we're going. But you need to do it. You need to actually get shit done, as we were talking before. You need to actually do stuff because it's not necessary. It's not only necessary to watch all these people, but really get things done. So what we do at LiveBeyond is through experiential learning. We gather remote workers and we gather them in a space in which they can have a co-working, co-living, travel experience, but it's all around the LiveBeyond method. So you come in and you take with you habits, tunes, routines to be more productive, to be more healthy, and to grow from from a self perspective. So that's what we're doing there.
I love it, man. I think the project is pretty much exactly spot on, and this is exactly what the world needs. Because what I like, what to be very honest, what I really love about it is like it seems to be like super open-minded. It welcomes everyone. Doesn't matter where you come from, what you do, just live beyond. It's like it makes so much sense, you know, like, and this is literally exactly what the world needs these days. So I don't want to go down the road of pitching any products or anything like that at the moment, but why did you choose to help others?
Sure.
Making a difference.
Amazing question, and I love that because, as I mentioned a little bit a few years ago, things really came down to me in my life. I was raised in Colombia, came to London to pursue the career, the financial life, and all that. Just because I thought that was the thing. I was never really ambitious, but I didn't really know what I wanted, purpose, all these things that we hear. And 4 years ago, everything came down. The idea of success was not it. I mean, money, everything was fine, but the purpose, the reason for living really wasn't there. So that was a wake-up call. And I had the luck to meet a few people that introduced me to concepts of ancient wisdom, like mindfulness, human optimization, mindset, and all these things. And before that, I had no idea that existed. It really changed my life. And since then, I became passionate by human behavior, human optimization, how to maximize our life experience. We're here only a while. Like, this is a journey. We're here to do good work, to have a good life. And it's just a little while. If you really think and meditate about death every day, which is, we're going to die. Why not make the most out of our time? But how do we do it without falling into the promises of follow your dreams, follow your passion, because that's very dangerous. And I can always talk a little bit more about that. So that's the big why, because I saw my health going down, my relationships going down, my happiness was completely non-existent. So I said, let's use remote work because the world will change. Back in 2018, I thought the big revolution of remote work would happen in 2024, 2025. When the generations changed and the workplace was replaced, the managers were replaced by younger generations. But the pandemic came and it crashed the course of remote work. So I said, I want to create a vehicle that helps the David back then, the David that was sunk between, in the screens, in an office in London, working 15 hours a day, and that couldn't really manage his life or have control over his life. So I wanted to help people to do it and for them to maximize their life experience. That's the big why. We learn to be effective. Yeah, we're going to get shit done. We're going to improve our potential, but we're going to be healthy about it, right? We're going to connect our mind with the body, sleep, nutrition, all these things, and also learn as humans. As we were talking, I like to read a lot of books and stuff like that, and because they inspire me. So what if we just give people all this material information in a practical way so they can start acting from now?
I love it. I love it, and I completely agree with what you just said. I think this is pretty much spot on. From let's take a little bit of like this turn, like from your perspective, how important, because we're obviously facing a new world, You know, like people are gonna become entrepreneurs, running their own businesses, and even if they don't run their own businesses, they are getting employed and not getting observed. You know, like it's like we all have self-discipline became so important. And that's one of the main reasons why I love to talk to you, because self-discipline, not even as an entrepreneur, no, also as an employee, becomes so important. Everything you teach and preach out there becomes so highly valuable. But for someone who is at the very beginning of their let's say of their journey, what would you advise? What would you advise for someone who really wants to take it off and take life in his own hands?
Yeah. So it's all good news at this point, because the world is changing, as you said. The opportunity for someone to be able to break free from the land of cubicles and the offices and now be able to work location independent is increasing massively as we speak. We're learning. Companies are learning. They don't have a clue what to do. Companies are, I was, as I mentioned, I was giving a talk yesterday for a big company in Colombia about remote hiring, and they're all figuring out, as we do. We're figuring it out our life. So the good news is you will have more chances of being employed remotely, but to be a reliable, resourceful, and resilient remote worker, you need to take responsibility on your self-discipline. And a lot of people don't like routines, habits, rigidity. We don't preach and we don't teach rigidness. We teach self-management, direction, because that's what we need. You are living the life you're living, and all the nomads out there are, and they have gone through this because they know when you're effectively your own boss, it doesn't matter if you have a boss telling you what to do, but you are your own boss because nobody's looking at you, and you need those sets of disciplines. So my advice is increase your self-awareness about your daily behavior. That's the core behind LiveBeyond and the LiveBeyond method itself, which is human behavior. What do you do in the first 60 to 90 minutes of your day? What do you do in the last 60 to 90 minutes of your day? How are you working? How distracted are you? There is this theory that I love, and it's one of the big things that we help our people and we teach our people is flow, flow states, how to enter flow states, which is a state of optimal consciousness, optimal experience, intrinsic motivation, how to really get shit done and be present at the moment. And you get through that by being aware of how distracted you are. So my first advice is be aware. What are your habits every day? Your morning, how are you managing your work and your evening? Because as you said, work habits are vastly underrated. We assume that we know how to work, but we really don't know. And now when we're given the keys to the prison, and we're able to go there, and now we will be able to work from Bali, from wherever we want. We need the habits to be productive, to be effective. Otherwise, this will be the same shit show that happened in 2013 when the remote revolution started back then. And then nobody was productive. Everybody was called back to the office, and we will repeat again. We have a second chance. This is the second time, the big time. I think this time we'll stick around because we have a freaking pandemic that we can't have another chance, but another option. But I think that's it. First advice: be aware, take responsibility, and then you'll be. It's called the superstar effect. If you happen to manage your attention and your focus. There's a good book I could recommend people from Cal Newport. It's called Deep Work, and it's all about deep work being one of the most powerful and important skills of the 21st century, which is focused undistracted attention to whatever task you're doing. So if you read that book, pay attention to your habits, and you will be in demand by all these remote companies because you will be a super powerful remote worker.
I absolutely love what you just said, and we've been speaking about that before this interview, and that's kind of like one of my main messages out there is like it's about self-discipline and it's about getting shit done, because everyone is like, in my case, it's like everyone is like, oh, you live on Bali and you have like that dream life, you live on a remote island somewhere in the middle of the world. Yeah, I do, but my distraction is even bigger. Sometimes I wish to be back in an office in Germany and it rains outside because there is no distraction. And I think like what you are teaching and preaching is pretty much spot on. That's why I love your topic so much. Is yeah, it's about self-discipline, and self-discipline becomes even harder when we go remote, because we're not getting observed by our boss anymore.
Exactly.
Who walks by every 15 minutes when I sit in the office, and we all been there, right? So
Exactly.
and that's I think is that the main reason why so many people fail?
I think, distraction is the main reason. It is. We live in a distracted world. The word destructibility was actually researched quite broadly, and this is everything that we do and we're talking about. This is all science based, which is the pure interested about this, and it goes hand in hand with flow states. They got hundreds of people in the US for this study, and they would send random text messages with a few questions. Some of them were, "What are you doing right now? How are you feeling?" And they found that around 50% of the people are not paying attention to what they're doing at the moment. And they also correlated that to how happy they were feeling at the moment. So that means we are distracted and we're not living present and happy. So we are distracted all the time. Now, that obviously derails you from stuff. You have external distractions. Let's say Bali, amazing distractions out there, but also internal distractions. Believe me, there's a really good quote. I can't remember from who exactly, but it says something around all problems of humanity stems from man's inability to sit in a room quietly alone. Like, that's why I'm saying be aware of what you do, because if you're queuing for I don't know, a shop to buy your lunch or whatever, and the first thing that comes to your mind is grab your phone and keep scrolling, be aware of that, because take it easy, reduce the distractions. So I think that's the main thing why we are failing, because we're not getting things done. And the problem is, one of the main key tips here for your audience and for everybody else is not everything needs to be about the massive grind and not having a life. We talked about something just before coming live about the 80-20 principle or the Pareto rule. This is something that we also help our people to integrate into their lives, to think 80-20. What does that mean? It's proven by science that there's an imbalance that 20% of the things you do really generate the 80% of the outcomes. So it's like you are creating an amazing community because you're focused on the community. This is what I have to do. I could do all these things. Yes, I could check them out and stuff like that, but I'm not going to get distracted because this is what matters right now. And this is one of the things that very, very remarkable people through history have done. They focus on something, on something they're good at, and they just keep banking. Persistence, discipline, do it. So I'd say one of the main failures of any entrepreneur, any person trying to be out there and manage themselves is distraction.
And this is so spot on with what you just said, because I need to admit that we're still like, so note by the side, guys, if you're watching the review, if you're watching that, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a heart, whatever the fuck you do out there. Show us some love. But we always have usually have we're having a Facebook group right now. That's where we're streaming from 10,000 plus people, and you usually have 10% watching. It's about 10% watching. That's what you get used to. You always wish you had 50% or 60% watching, but you always have like 10% watching. But I know you can't see how many people who are live at the moment, and I know it is very early in Europe. It's still it's like morning time in Europe.
Yeah.
What I can tell right now by what you are talking is like we don't have more live views than usual, but everyone who watches stays.
Oh, wow.
Because I constantly have a constant number here. And I see that, you don't see that. I only have a constant fucking number. And that means you are, you're preaching and teaching the right thing, because it means like people are like, once they get into your content, they are into your content. So it's awesome. It's awesome. I don't want to be like that guy who's like, holy shit, that's all cool. So, yeah, but it's really cool. It's really cool. And I think it's really, really, really beneficial. And we are already running overtime, because usually we keep it down to 20 minutes. But in this case, I want to do it a little bit longer because it's so valuable. It's so valuable. Dave, in that case, before we stop that stream here, first of all, we're going to feature you and your project, LiveBeyond, as a Nomad expert. So guys, watch out for that. We're going to have his program, which is super valuable. Don't miss about that. On our NOMADX expert website, and not everyone is going to make it on there. But to come a little bit to an end, I think that's another very valuable topic. I wanna a little bit cross paths on it. Is what can we expect from you next? Because it seems like you got all the shit done. You got all the shit down to earth. You know what how to live life. What do we expect from a guy like Dave with the company LiveBeyond for the rest of 2020, maybe like 2021?
Right. Thank you very much for your kind words. Thank you for everybody that has stuck around, and very happy to share more. Really, guys, this is important. I love what you guys are doing. Please let me acknowledge what NOMADX is doing. I see you guys growing quite a lot. And I think the audience is great, because I've seen comments of people that are starting the Nomad journey and people that are way into the Nomad journey. So, and I think this is going to expand to remote workers, and this is just going to grow. As Gary Vee told you, this will happen 100%. And that was really so congrats to you and all the team. And thank you for everybody being here. Now, what's happening? What's going to happen? The main answer is, this is so uncertain. I mean, we live in a usually an uncertain world, but now it's more uncertain because we don't know what's going to happen. We have news because of the pandemic I'm talking about. Now, what's happened this year? Our main business model was experiential learning, gathering people and teaching them through experience how to work and live and all these things that we talk about, the LiveBeyond method. During the pandemic, we adapted. Now we're doing more mentoring online. We help people one-on-one, and we have the program that you very kindly have offered, and will be at a very special, collaboration with NOMADX in your platform. What's going to happen in 2020? We're sticking with the experiences. We have LiveBeyond Tuscany in Italy coming up in September. We have Iceland in November, and we have Bali in December. And, if things go right, we're going to be hanging out there and speaking at our event, and that's going to be really good. That's 2020. 2021 has big plans. I wish I could disclose more, but we are thinking about expanding quite a lot, helping more people. The idea is to get this way of living and working to as many people as we can, as in companies, corporates, individuals, and there's a few projects in the pipeline. But for now, focusing on what we have right now, which is 2020. So yeah.
Awesome, I love it, Dave. There are so many words I could say to you, and people will probably say I'm cheesy. I'm just like la 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 la, what the fuck ever. there is one thing I want to say to you, okay? And I'm not saying that because we're live right now and a lot of people are watching. I'm saying that because we spoke before and we had a lot of conversations, or some very, very valuable conversations. Thank you. Thank you. That's pretty much what it is. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Keep up the good work. I am super proud and honored to call you one of my friends, business partners, what the fuck ever. And I'm even more proud to know that people are you, like, getting out there and putting in the work. So rock and roll, bro. Thank you.
Wow, man. Thank you very much. That was very, very inspiring. I'm very grateful about you and your team, the work you do, everybody in the audience. You guys are amazing, really. Thank you for giving me a little time, a platform to expand the word and to give. I mean, it's Monday. It's 9:28 in London. It's already a little bit later in Asia, but it's Monday, and kicking the week, kickstarting the week with a message of positivity and hope. I think it reaches people, and you guys, kick the week's ass and get it done, get things done.
Right, bro. I love it. Thank you so much. It was great to have you on here. I'm looking forward to follow you, and I'm looking forward to welcome you as a Nomad expert as well, and to promote your program, because I think that's the way to go, guys. And if you're watching the review, and I know it's Monday morning for most of you guys, and if you even have a hangover, don't fucking care. Watch that show, and that's where we go. We got some amazing people on it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend. Looking forward to see you soon, and thank you. Thank you, everyone.